Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video tutorial, I will explain in Django web applications how to create a single page website. So notice here when I reload the browser, here we got the button control. Now we'll insert create record. So it's gone to the insert record. Let's insert record. This time I'm adding kk@gmail.com. Let's insert the record. Insert. Here we got an alert message. Record set successfully. Click OK. See here the kk@gmail.com is inserted successfully. If we check in the database, see here we got the employee object 2, which is kk@gmail.com. Now if we check the contact, see here we got the contact page. When I click the button control, it's go to top. Home is this one. Create record. We'll add another record. This time I'm adding p@gmail.com. Let's insert the record. Okay. So here we got the Peter record. That's it. We have created a simple single page website in Django web application. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before creating a new Django web application, first we require one folder. So I'm creating a new folder in local disk D drive. Right click the mouse, click new and select folder, and the folder name is single page website. Let's browse this folder. Right now this folder is totally empty. Now let's create a new Django web application in this folder. I'm using Visual Studio Code to create a Django web applications. But before creating an application, first we have to add the folder which we have created in the local disk D drive. Open file and then select open folder. And let's select our folder name single page website. Click button, select folder. And here we got our folder is successfully added to our Visual Studio Explorer panel. At the right side we got the welcome page. Let's close that welcome page. Now let's create a new Django web application in this folder. For that, open view, then select terminal. And here we got our terminal, which is nothing but a command prompt. If we notice, the path is the D colon single page website, which is our folder name. Now let's create a Django web application. Django-admin start project, and the project name is a single page website, SPW. Enter. SPW is our application name. And our project is successfully created. Notice here SPW. Let me expand this application. In this application contains one subfolder called SPW and one manage.py Python file. Let me expand this subfolder also. And in this subfolder contains some Python files, settings.py, urls.py. All these files and folders has been created automatically when I create this project SPW. Now, before adding the functionality in this application, first we'll check this application is working properly or not on the browser. So for that, first we have to add the application name to the path. Click enter. After that we have to run server python manage.py. When we want to run the server, we need to use this Python file manage.py. Then add run server, enter. And after I run the server, notice we don't have any issues in our applications, but we got some small warning, 15 unapplied migrations. But at this moment, don't worry about this migrations unapplied warnings. But below we got the web server link. Let's browse this link. Control plus mouse click to browse this application. And here we got the default output of our website. It is a Django application is working successfully. The purpose of this application, I want to create a new project with a single page website. So the purpose of this project is I want to create a new single page website with Django applications. So this website contains to display the records from the database, to insert the records from the database, and small contact page. So first, when we want to deal with the Django default database, which is a db.sqlite3, we require one super user. So first, before that, let's copy this one, click admin. Let's visit the admin page, and here we redirect to the admin page, which contains the login details, username and password. Here the username is a super user. Let's create a new super user to visit my database. You can switch back to the coding part, Ctrl C to exit from the server. Now to create a super user, first we have to migrate this 15 migrations. So for that we have to run this command, python manage.py migrate. I'm copying that one, pasting here, enter. So here, after applying this all migrations, admin authentication and everything to my database, now let's create a new super user. To create a super user, python manage.py create super user, enter. And here we prompt with the username. The username I am giving Charan, the email ID ch@gmail.com, my email ID, and the password is same Charan123 and Charan123. And super user created successfully. Now let's run the server. So after I run the server, now we'll reload the browser, the admin page, the username is a Charan and the password I'm adding. See here, I successfully logged into the admin panel, the Django administration panel with my username Charan. So after creating a super user, now we will create a new table object in this database. For that, I can switch back to the coding part. To create a table elements, which are the column names and the table name, we require one models page and adding a models.py page to the subfolder of our application. So I'm selecting the subfolder, right click the mouse, click new file, and the file name is a models.py. And here we got our models.py page. In this models.py contains the properties. Before that, we need to import the class name models class from Django.db import models. After adding the models class, let's define a class. The class name I'm adding employee class. So here the table name is employee. I'm creating models.model colon. Now in this class I'm defining the properties, which is nothing but the column names. The first one is a first name is equals to models dot char field maximum underscore length is equals to 100. Let's copy this one. Let's create the second property, which is the last name of the employee, and we require one email. Just for the demo purpose, I am adding very simple column names to my table. To my employee table contains first name, last name, and email. When I create a table employee, the ID column is automatically created. So that's it. In this models class, let's save this file. After that, open settings.py. In the settings.py, first we need to install our application name in single quotes. Our application name is a SPW. This is our project application name I have added here. Then in Django applications, when we want to render our HTML pages, we need to join the templates folder with our base directory. Here, if you notice, in our project we don't have any templates folder. So first let's add the templates folder. I'm selecting the application, right click the mouse, click new folder, and folder name is the templates. And this templates contains all my HTML pages. Right click the templates folder, click new file, and the file name is index.html. And here we got our index.html page. Again switch back to the settings.py. In the directories, I'm adding os.path.join, and join method takes two parameters. The first one is a base directory, and the second parameter is the templates, our folder name, which contains all my HTML pages. That's it. I'm not configuring my db.sql3 because if you notice in the database section, the default database is the SQL3. So save all, and now we have to register our model to the site. So again, right click the subfolder, create new file. The file name is admin.py, enter. And here we got our admin.py page. First let's import the necessary admin class from Django.contrib import render, not render, it's an admin class. After that, when we want to register this class, which is our table name, employee class, the table name, we require the models class also. From the models page is inside our application, so SPW, my application name dot models import. I'm adding my class name employee. Then we have to register site dot register dot admin. I'm adding employee, the class name. I'm registering this site employee site. That's it. Let's save this file, save all, and let's run the server. Control C. I'm running the server. Oops, sorry. This is the admin.site, admin.site.register. The command is admin.site.register. I'm adding the employee. Let's save this file, save all. Now let's run the server. Notice here, when I run the server, we don't have any issues. Now we can switch back to the coding admin page of our application. When I reload this browser, notice here we got the SPW, our application name, which contains the model employees. Nothing but a table. Notice here, when I want to browse this employees table, see here we got an optional error, no such table SPW underscore employee, because we have to run the syncdb, again exit from the server, python manage.py, and migrate double hyphen, I want to run syncdb, enter. So here we got a message, creating table sp underscore employee table is created successfully. Now let's reload. First we have to run the server. Then let's reload this browser. And now we got the employee tables. Right now these employee tables contain 0 rows. If I click add employee, we can add employees from here. Add employee, and notice here the add employee contains 3 columns: first name, last name, and email, which are nothing but the properties in our models class. See, first name, last name, and email. Now the first name is Charan, the last name is K, and the email ID is charan@gmail.com. Let's save this file. Save. So the employee object was added successfully. When I browse this employee object, charan@gmail.com. Again switch back to the employees table. Now I want to fetch these employee objects in a index.html page. So I can switch back to the coding part. To fetch the records from the database, we require one views page. So again spw, right click the subfolder, click new file, views.py, enter. And here we got our views.py. Now first in this views.py, we'll import the necessary classes from Django.shortcuts import render class. Next from I'm importing the models class also. We require this class from this models. So instead of writing the same code, just copy this line and I'm pasting in the views page. That's it. We have added the necessary classes. Then let's define the function. Employee empl is my function name. A request. First I want to display the records from this employee table. So first display records is a variable employee dot objects dot all method, and then this function return, I want to render request the index.html. I want to request my HTML page, which is the index.html page, comma. I want to display this records. So I'm using the dictionary here between curly brackets, double quotes. The dictionary contains the keys and values. Here the key is the employee table, so employee class, and the values we are getting from column, the values we are getting from this object display records. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Switch back to the index.html. Here in this index.html, I want to display those records. But before that, let's add the doc type. Doc. I'm closing the HTML tag. It's not question mark, it's add / This HTML contains a header section, and the header section contains the title. The title is create a single web page. single web page is my web page name, and after the header it contains the body, and in the body I'm adding the center tag, and the center tags h1, creating a single SINGL single page website, the page website using Django web tutorials. After the headings I'm adding horizontal line. Now after the horizontal line I'm adding a table element, table border. This table contains a border with 1, the border size is 1. Then let's add the tr. This tr contains the table headers, the table headers id, the first name, again the next table headers, last name, and we got the last column name is email, the table headers email. And after the tr I'm adding, and to display the records I'm using for loop. So between curly brackets percentage for result is an object in the results we are getting from this class, employee class, from this models employee. Copy this one, paste here. Let's close this for loop, percentage, and for tr, small tr, td. Let's add the expression between double curly brackets. Okay, result dot, I'm adding the id, td, result dot, first time the column names we have to add. Copy this one. The next column name is the last name, and the last one is the email. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Let's run the server, Ctrl+C to exit from the server, and I'm running the server. Oh, oops, here we need to configure the URLs also. The URLs from, we need to import views, because my web page is inside in the views page. I'm requesting this index.html with the help of this function empl. Now in the path, URL patterns, path, single quotes. Now my default web page is this one, single quotes, views dot, I'm adding my function name of the views. Let's save this file, save all. Now let's run the server. So after I run the server, we don't have any issues. Now let's reload this browser. And here we got the first output of our single page website, which contains one to display the records. Above that we got the headings. Now before headings, I'm adding one simple menu control with some site name. So I can switch back to the Visual Studio Code. In the index.html, in the header section, after the title, now let's add the header section in this head. Div tag, in this div I'm adding list items, which are nothing but my menu elements The first one is my site name, single page website, and the next list item is the home, and the next one is create new record, and the last link is a create contact. After that, I am adding one horizontal line. Now, before adding the properties to this div elements or list item elements, let's save this file, save all. We'll check the basic output, how it looks the designing part on the browser. I'm reloading the browser. So here we got a new output with the SPW, the list items, and this is my website name or logo, the home, create record and contacts. These are the link buttons. So just for the time saving, I will add the CSS styles. Let's give the ID is equals to header, and the list item ID is equals to site name. Now let's add some CSS styles. Style. Now in the style, first I'll add the header section part. Now in the styles, just for the time saving, I have already wrote the code which I'm pasting the CSS style, and this is a small CSS styles for this header, div ID header, which contains all the list items. The color of the font is red, the text color is red, and I want to align this text align center. Let's check the basic output, save all. I'm reloading the browser. Now here we got that output here, it looks like this way. Now let's add some other CSS styles. Pasting here, and this one, the header li list, the display inline block, margin 25, the font weight is bold. Let's say this file, we'll check the output. It's very simple CSS style properties. Enter. So now we got this home, create record, contact and SPW. And now the next step, I want to display this, create a single page website here at the bottom. So I can switch back to the coding part. If you notice here, the hash, home, insert and contact, these are for the list items. So when a user clicks the home, I want to display this home page. So on click event, on click. So when we are using on click event, we require the JavaScript or jQuery. So here go to, is a function name, between single quotes I am adding this home. Semicolon. Let's paste this one on click event. So instead of home, I'm adding this insert, copy this one and paste here, and the last one is a contact, copy this one and paste here. Now let's save this file, save all. We'll check the output. I'm reloading the browser. Oops, here I forgot to add one thing here. Let's put this one in the div tag, close this div, div id is equals to home, which is nothing but this one, home. This home I am adding here. Now let's save this file, save all. Now read up the browser, and here we got a new output for the home page. When a user clicks the home page, I want to display this page to display the records. When a user clicks the create record, I want to go to the create record div. So for that, again switch back to the coding part. Let's copy this one, the div tag, paste here, copy this one, div tag is inside. So after this, instead of home, I'm adding the insert. The idea of this div is insert. This one, the heading I'm changing, insert record. Let's delete this one, this table. Instead of that, let's declare a table with a border is equals to 1. Then in this table, I'm adding tr, td is the first name, next td is the input text box control, input type is equals to text, placeholder, first name, and I'm adding the name. Here the name is very important. I'm adding my column name of the table, first name. Let's close this td. Now copy this tr. We require another two input text box controls. Second label name is the last name, and instead of first name, the placeholder is the last name, and the name is last name. Here the email, and the placeholder is email. So after the table, I'm adding one simple submit button control. Input type is equals to submit, and the value of the button control is the insert. Let's close the button control. In Django applications, when we are posting the data, so we require the form tag, form method is equals to post. I'm closing this form tag. After the button control, and the most important step in Django applications, when we are posting the data, we require the csrf underscore token. The csrf underscore token, it protects our data from the hackers when we are posting the data. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. We require the logic to save the records. So I can go to views.py, and the views.py, before we have added the code to fetch the records from this employee table. Now we are posting the data. If request.method double equals to post colon if what kind of data we are posting, request.post.get method between single quotes switch to index.html. The post we are posting the data, this first name we need to add the name of the first name text box control. There is the index.html views.py, and let's copy this one, paste here and paste here. This one is the last name and this one is the email, and the last one, instead of n, I'm adding colon. After that, let's declare a save object is equals to, we are inserting the records with this employee, add the employee, save object dot the properties of this employee table. Now let's add the properties of this employee class. We have first name is equals to, I want to enter this value in the first name column, save object dot last name, the property name of the class request dot post dot get method is the last name, and save object dot email is equals to request dot post dot get method, and get method, the last one is the email. Then let's save these objects, object dot save method. I'm saving all the records. The else part, I'm adding the else part for this if condition and pasting this one, display these records. That's it. Let's save this file, save all, again switch to the index.html. Now if you notice here, when a user clicks that create record link, I want to display, go to this div insert. So we require the latest jQuery CDN link. I'm applying here the jQuery. So again switch back to the browser. Let's Google for the latest jQuery CDN. Latest jQuery CDN Google, and from the search results I'm selecting the first option, hosted libraries. And the Google hosted libraries, notice in these libraries we have the script of the latest jQuery CDN. Let's copy this script, copy this one and paste in the header section. Now let's add a script, the functionality when a user clicks a link, close the script here. Now in this JavaScript, let's add the function. The function here we have added the go to. Let's copy this function go to. The function name is a div. Dollar between single quotes the HTML elements, HTML comma, and also body I'm adding dot animate method. Let's add the semicolon here. Scroll top, This animate method, I'm adding the scroll top colon dollar between double quotes. I'm adding the hash dot plus div tag dot offset method dot top comma. Now between single quotes I'm adding slow. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. Now we'll check the output. I'm reloading the browser. So after I reload the browser, now when I use a click the create record, see here we got the insert record. Now I'll add one small go to top button. Again switch back to the coding part, come to the bottom. In the border section, what I'm doing here, I will add the button tag, button ampersand upper arrow ARR. It displays the arrow symbol here. If you notice here the arrow symbol on the button, and I'm adding the type of the button is equals to button. We'll add one class here, and the on click event I required because when a user clicks the button control, I want to go to top. On click, the function name is go to top function. Semicolon. Now let's copy this function go to top, go to header section. We'll add one script. It's a JavaScript. Let's close the script tag. Function, the function, I'm pasting the function name. The window dot scroll to s is small s scroll to is a function. Let's add the semicolon. That's it. Now, and also we require the contact div also. After the div, I'm adding the div h1. This is contact page, and the div id is very important here. Div id is equals to, we need to add this id contact. Between double quotes, I'm adding the contact. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. We'll check the output. I'm reloading the browser. See here we got the button control here. So we need to add the CSS style. I want to put this button here. So go to the top. In the style only I'm adding dot scroll hyphen top curly brackets. Just for the time saving, I'm pasting the CSS code here. The position is fixed and the bottom 10 pixels, the right is 10 pixels and Z index is 99. Now this is the most important. Please copy this one, scroll top. If you notice the button, we have added the class. Scroll top. Let's copy this scroll top, come to the bottom and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. And also here, when the user insert the record, I want to display a simple alert message on click event is equals to return alert. Put it in a single quotes. Record save successfully. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now I'll check the final output. I'm reloading the browser. So notice here, when I reload the browser, here we got the button control. Now we'll insert create record. So it's gone to the insert record. Let's insert record. This time I'm adding kk at gmail.com. Let's insert the record, insert. Here we got an alert message, record set successfully, click OK. See here the kk at gmail.com is inserted successfully. If you check in the database, see here we got the employee object 2, which is kk at gmail.com. Now if we check the contact, see here we got the contact page. When I click the button control, let's go to top. Home is this one. Create record. We'll add another record. This time I'm adding Peter Pat p at gmail.com. Let's insert the record. Okay. So here we got the Peter record. That's it. We have created a simple single page website in Django web application.